Hey guys, this is Mr. Mbow with Silver Lining Taekwondo. Today is your Technique Tuesday. So the technique we're going to work with is the most fundamental technique, which is the front stance, which is the basic stance that we do as a white belt growing up, all right? So the front stance, there are a few components that would make up a good front stance. So if I'm stepping up with my right foot and I'm in my front stance, this right here would be a right front stance. And then if I have my left foot, I switch, this would be a left front stance. So whichever foot is in front, the stance is named after that leg. The reason being, the front stance is a 50-50 weight distribution, which means 50% of your weight is on the front and the other is on the back. So whichever leg is in front of you. So now to go back and then start from the very basic fundamental. This is my Jumbi position. My Jumbi position is measured from the it's shoulder width, measured from the outside of my foot to the outside of my foot. Now the front stance is a tad bit longer because that's measured from a different point, which is on the instep of the foot, which is right about here. So for that, if you are here or you go a little bit wider, you are also fine, but you don't want to go any wider than that. So I step into my front stance. The length of a front stance is shoulder and a half long, and that's measured from any point of your front foot to the same point on your back foot. From your front toes to your back toes, from your front heel to your back heel, that would be the length of that, shoulder and a half. The weight distribution, like I said earlier, is 50%, 50-50, and then so your center of gravity is right between your 2 feet. Your knee is always bent. Your front knee is always bent, but your knee gotta be over your heel. If you have your knee going forward until you don't see your toes anymore, that means you have more than 50% of your weight on the front foot, making it very difficult to do anything with this foot. And if somebody were to sweep it, you're gonna fall really, really hard. The reason you also want to have your front knee bent always is if you do your stance and you are like this and somebody steps right here, that knee is gonna be gone. So you always have to keep that knee bent to protect your joint. That's the most important thing. All the stances we do in Taekwondo are designed to help you protect your joints, all right? Now, I'm gonna turn to the side. This is my right front stance. Your back foot is turned no more than 25 degrees out. So if I go from here all the way to here, this is fine. So when we say toes straight forward, it doesn't necessarily mean here. Now, if I go really straight like this and I have very tight Achilles tendon, so that's gonna snap. Or my calves are very tight, my Achilles tendon is gonna snap, and you don't want that. So you wanna turn that foot slightly out to release that pressure, okay? The reason you want your toes to face in that same direction is if somebody steps, same as the front knee, if somebody steps here, all I'm gonna do is just bend my knee and then I can come back, minimizing risks of injury. If I turn this right here, my hips are not in the right position and my knee is vulnerable for an attack from the back, okay guys? So that's why you always want to keep that shoulder facing, that knee, those toes facing forward. So those are absolutely critical components to observe whenever you are executing a front stance. Now, why do we have this stance? This stance is strong against a frontal attack or a back attack coming from the rear. If somebody is pushing me from the front, I can brace myself with that back foot. Hence the reason why you always want to have that heel down. If that heel is up, your knee is bent. If somebody pushes you, you're going to lose your balance easily and you're going to fall over. But when I have that heel down, heel is always down, then I can brace myself, all right? So if the attack is coming from the front, that back leg is my anchor to help me stay on my feet. If the attack is coming from the back, this for me is my anchor. Somebody pushes me from the back, then I can stop. And that's why it's important to maintain that 50-50 weight distribution. Because if somebody pushes me from the back and I have too much weight going forward, all my momentum is going that way and you're gonna fall over easily and that person is gonna win the battle. You don't want that. So again, you are here, step 50-50, and then last piece, regardless of the technique you're executing, whether it's a low block, whether it's a punch, whether it's a high block, whatever the technique you're doing with your hands, the last piece to always observe is to keep your back straight. Always keep your back straight. Don't do your stance and lean forward. You're leaning forward, you also have more than 50% of your weight. Your upper body, that is, right? Everything is going forward. So you always want to keep your back straight. So in other words, this is how you know your back is straight. Head over shoulders over hips, period. So long as you have head over shoulders over hips, you have a nice body alignment. If you lean forward a little bit, now my head is right in front of my hips, my shoulders. You guys understand? So to recap, I'm here, I'm gonna step out into a front stance and just do a low block, and I'll go side to side. So 1, there's your low block, and then I go other side, 2. And now if I do it from the side, I step out, low block, and then I go here, low block. Notice I'm always maintaining that same width between my feet. And I go from this way so you can see the back here, low block. It's still focusing on the front stance. Bring it back, low block, and then bring it back. So, last, why the feet, the width of the feet is important. If you are in a front stance and your feet are too narrow, you're gonna be wobbly. Your balance is not gonna be there. If your stance is too wide, this stance is weaker from this angle. If somebody's pushing me from here, this angle, my feet are on a straight line. If somebody pushes me from here, I'm gonna fall over. So if the attack is coming from the front and I go too wide, all I've done is move my body to the weakest possible point. I don't wanna do that. And here you cannot do anything and you are completely open, exposed for any type of carnage. So, once again, shoulder width, measure from the instep to the instep. If you go a little bit wider, you are fine. Front knee is bent, knee over your heel, back leg is straight, toes are turned no more than 25 degrees up. And back leg is straight, heel is on the ground, okay? So, and back is straight. Weight distribution, 50-50. The length of the front stance is shoulder and a half, measured from any point of your front foot to the same point on your back foot. So there is your basic technique for front stance. Please watch this video, understand it, practice, 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 and click the link below, like it, follow us, and we're gonna give you more more Technique Tuesdays, or Tuesday techniques. I don't know what I'm saying here, but you guys get the gist of these videos. Get to work, practice hard, and we'll see you in class very soon. Taekwon.